Hi. 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 So, it's been a while. Um, how you doing? Hope you're making good decisions. Having a good week or had a good week last week, the end of last weekend this week. Doing something different. I didn't make a video on Saturday because I needed a rest day mentally. Um, I had a lot going on in my brain, which I'll get into later, or I'll continue to get into later. But I had this idea. I made short videos Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and today. And I'm going to combine them all into one. So I'm going to give y'all the inside tea to what my thought process has been lately. Probably never do this again, but I wanted to do it today because y'all just that special. So sit back, relax. Don't relax too much because you ain't going to listen to me. You're going to fall asleep. But get ready for this tea. My name is Bree. Come chat with me. Let's talk about guilt. You ever felt super guilty for something even though you knew you had every reason not to? I'm having a moment of guilt because I feel like I did something wrong in doing what was best for me. So in order to push through that guilt, I've been doing a lot of praying. I've been doing a lot of thinking and a lot of reminding myself. Sometimes you gotta remind yourself of the bad just to see the good in something. So like for people that deal with messed up relationships, when you finally get the strength to leave, sometimes you gotta just remind yourself of all the bad you went through so you won't go back. Because that good can be enticing, right? I know. Just don't beat yourself up over it because you deserve to be happy and you deserve the best that God has for you. You're not the reason that person treated you the way that they did. Some people are just really good at gaslighting or making you feel like it was all your fault to begin with when it was probably never fully your fault. We all play our parts, but it's not your fault. Continue to push forward. If you gotta cry, cry. If you gotta write, write. If you gotta pray, pray. Do what you gotta do. But continue to take the time to love on you. Another thing that I tend to find myself guilty about is that sometimes you want to see people win. You want to see people do better. You want to see people in better spaces. So you try to help people get to those better spaces and you try to help people do better, see better, It's another side to life, etc., etc., etc. A lot of times people, they don't, for lack of better words, they don't want that better. And it's not that they don't want better. They're not ready for better. Because to have better, it takes a lot of work. You're not just going to get better in your life or good things in your life just by sitting on your butt. That just is what it is. In anything that you do in life, if you want a better relationship with somebody, you got to work on it. If you want better shoes, you got to get a job. Sorry. You want better credit, you got to pay stuff off. Anything worth having is worth fighting for. So There's been times in my life where I felt guilty because I wanted people to have better, because I was working towards better, but those people didn't want to do the work to have better. And I felt guilty because essentially it was either lay back and not have better in my life so they don't feel bad, or keep moving with my life and in a sense hope and pray that they don't fall off, but eventually you're gonna end up losing them because y'all ain't on the same level no more. There is nothing wrong with advancing your life. You do not have to feel guilty for wanting better in your life. You want that degree, go work for that degree. You want that promotion, go work for that promotion. You want that car, go work for that car. You want better mental health, go work for that better mental health. Don't let nobody make you feel bad because you want more. So that's another part of guilt that I had to work on, not feeling bad because I want more. Don't get me wrong, it's not easy to get past that. Guilt is not an easy thing to get past, but it's beneficial for you to get over it, especially when you've done nothing wrong. Now, if you're guilty because you have a guilty conscience because you actually did something, you need to go get that forgiveness or do whatever you need to do to be on a better slate and start afresh. But if you know you haven't done anything to be guilty over, don't let that guilt consume you. If you're a Christian, there's therefore now no condemnation. Don't be condemned to something when you didn't do anything wrong or you've already asked for forgiveness. Just don't do it. Angry, 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 angry. One thing I dislike being is angry. One apparent emotion I've had today, one apparent feeling I've had today is anger. Let not the sun go down on your wrath. Be angry, but sin not. Those are two scriptures about anger that I have to hold close, because I can be angry for a very long time, and I let my anger get the best of me a lot. I'm doing better, but I let it get the best of me a lot. One of my triggers for anger: overthinking. As stated before, I am an overthinker. As stated before, I am a rager. Neither of which am I proud of. I just know these things about myself, so I try to stay aware. I do my best to not live in anger, because I know as a Christian, I want to be the best example of holiness that I can be. I don't feel I can be a productive example of holiness if I'm always angry. You could love a person with all your heart and they can still manage to tick you off to the pits of your soul. It happens. You can love your job with all of your heart and your job can still tick you off past your boiling point. It happens. Do not let anger fester. When anger festers, it turns into a way bigger problem than what it needs to be. In pressing towards the mark of the prize of the high calling of Jesus Christ, you must recognize your triggers and do your best to either avoid them or act on not sitting in or around them for a very long time. If you know somebody chewing and you can hear it bothers you, do not sit close to the person you know is a loud chewer. If you know being around certain people bothers you, do not sit around those people for extended periods of time. Know when to move, know when to let go, know when to move on, etc., etc. You have to do these things in order to protect your peace. I am in a moment where I'm working on protecting my peace right now. So I'm thinking on good thoughts. I'm thinking on thoughts of Christ so that I do not overdo it. Just make sure you take care of yourself while working on your emotions. My divorce is final. So, not married anymore. Bittersweet feeling. Not really happy about it, not really sad about it. I'm kind of just going through the motions. I'm at this point where I just want to see or be where God needs me to see or needs me to be. Because I'm tired of the struggle that I'm dealing with right now. That's another story for another day. One thing that is evident for me, you have to, I'm learning in life, as you live, as you go, as you move on, you gotta forgive. Gotta forgive people. Whether it's family, whether it's friends, excuse me, even if it's somebody you don't know, they just happen to, bump you or look at you the wrong way in the grocery store. You gotta forgive, because unforgiveness and grudges can hold you so far back in life and you don't even know it. Don't mean that after you forgive, everything is gonna be peachy keen and that person can walk up to you and hug you and you'll be okay with it. No. It just means that you've released yourself from ill feelings towards that person. And you're willing to go forward, whether it's precautiously or go forward. Y'all can attempt to make things better, or you can use the practice of absence making the heart grow fonder and y'all ain't got to see each other no more. But things are better. Sometimes absence really does make the heart grow fonder. Sometimes you appreciate people more when they're not in your face, because they're not in your face to tick you off. It just is what it is. Yesterday, I was really ticked off about something, and I just kept praying about it. I'm talking around it because I really don't want to address it. I understand that with the social media, the platform, you kind of got you putting yourself out there on this, like, I forgot the word, but like a podium, like, but I'm not thinking, like a platform. You putting yourself on this platform and you're giving yourself to the world. I'm willing to give myself to the world, but if I feel like I need to hold on to it, I'm gonna hold on to it. So that's what I'm doing right now. The reason that I was angry, I'm not gonna discuss it for that reason. But anyway, I was angry and I let my anger get the best of me. And I didn't sin, I didn't curse, I didn't like hit nobody, I didn't go on a rage or nothing like that. But I say I let it get the best of me because I knew within me what I needed to do to calm down, but I refused to do it. I guess I did sin. Father, forgive me. It took me, I got angry at 8 o'clock that morning. It took me till about 10 o'clock last night to calm down. That should never be a thing for anybody. Never. Do not give, the scriptures say, do not let your good works be evil spoken of. Do not give the devil no room to play with you like that. Because that little bit of anger can turn, irritation can turn into anger. Anger can be exemplified frustration. Frustration can turn into wrath. Wrath can turn into rage. And you just going from there. Don't give the devil no room, no opportunity to play with you like that. It's not worth it. So, when I finally calmed down, I was so upset, but the one thing that was sitting in my face was, you need to take the steps to forgive. And the reason I need to take the steps to forgive is because I realized that I've been holding on to the same anger at the same person for years. Now, granted, some of my anger is warranted. Some of it really is warranted. But the extent of the anger is not what's warranted. Like, if you scuff your shoe, be upset that you scuffed your shoe. That's valid. But to take it back to the store and claim that they gave you a faulty product, come on now. No, you have faulty feet. You clumsy. Let's be real. So I would like to say to anybody out there that's dealing with unforgiveness, think about, one, how many people in your life have you hurt? Are you perfect, and can you say you ain't never hurt nobody? And that warrants you to have this ongoing grudge. 2, how many people have you hurt? Have you apologized for every time that you hurt somebody? Do you acknowledge when you hurt people, or do you just be like, they'll get over it? What's understood ain't gotta be explained. Sometimes it gotta be explained. Now, if you're not willing to explain it as an adult would and talk it through instead of yelling, you can miss me. We ain't gotta talk. But sometimes closure is necessary. Maybe not for you, but for the other person. I had another point, but I lost it. Before you hold a grudge, have you hurt anybody else? Have you apologized for the times that you hurt anybody else? I forgot the other one. I'm sure it'll come to me later. It's gonna come to me as soon as I end this video. Hurt people hurt people. And as much as it sucks, you can't hold a grudge with a person just because they hurt you. I mean, you can if you choose to. Just don't throw no bricks and you live in a glass house. Ain't nobody perfect that walked the face of this earth. And that just is what it is. Take a moment and figure it out. Have I done all I could to not hurt somebody else? When I hurt somebody else, did I just keep going and run through it? Or did I try to fix it? Whether in word or in action. And if you did try to fix it, that's what it is. I'm going to say that. If you did try to fix a situation and that person shut you down, you still can't hold a grudge because they shut you down. You messed up. You tried to get forgiveness or understanding. They didn't accept it. You got to let go too. Let not the sun go down on your wrath. It's no point in being upset. It's another Bible verse that talks, how can you point out the beam in your brother's eye when you got a log in yours? I just butchered that very bad, but the point I'm trying to get at, sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine or anybody else's. It ain't worth pointing fingers. You point one finger, you got 3 pointing back at you. It ain't worth it. Take some time, think it out, breathe it out, pray it out, and keep living your life. You made it past Saturday's guilt. You made it past Sunday's anger. You made it past Monday's forgiveness. Right? Because Saturday I felt guilty about making new choices in my life. Catch everything that I'm saying, because this will probably be some of the only transparency you get from me pertaining to what I'm finna talk about. Was it Saturday? Yeah. Saturday, I was in a good mood because it was my grandmother's birthday, but I was also sad because I'm at this point in my life now where I'm doing a transitioning from being a married woman to now a divorced woman, looking for a new job because the one I'm working ain't paying too much or nothing. Looking to get my life back in order because I spent too much time worried about everybody else. So I dealt with guilt and feeling bad for doing what was best for me. Woke up Sunday and dealt with anger over things that I cannot control, over situations that are not mine to really be upset about. So I had to do a lot of praying and a lot of forgiving of myself to get over all of that. Then Monday, we dealt with forgiveness. Forgiving of people of past issues because we ourselves are not perfect. So we have to keep that in mind and always remain humble in some way, shape, or form. Take heed lest ye fall. That's something I always got to do with people. I have to remember I'm not perfect. I've hurt people, hurt people, hurt people. And I am not without sin for me to cast a stone at anybody. So you can get upset. You can have your emotions about stuff, but that grudge you can't hold, right? It's Monday, February 6th, 2024. Let's talk about distractions. It is so easy to get distracted, right? Like how many times I can't count the number of times that I've been supposed to be praying or supposed to be reading my Bible or something, and my phone ring, or I get a call, or I get a text, or I end up on Facebook. How do you go from reading your paperback Bible to ending on Facebook? It's so easy to get distracted, bro. So easy. I find myself doing it a lot. So when I catch that distraction, I pull my mind back in and get back to the task at hand. I'm a crafter. I have an Etsy page called Coco Stitches. I make bonnets. I made this t-shirt. How many times have I been working on an order and decided to start washing clothes or clean my house? I get distracted so easily. Then I got to go back and run back and hurry up and finish the order so I could get it out on time. It happens. That's when you got to pull your mind in and get over them distractions, bro. It's possible. It can be hard, but it's possible. I realized in my sleep last night, God gave me a dream and it showed me how distracted that I am right now. I'm not distracted by people. And I kind of am distracted by people, but that's not my main distraction, I should say. I'm more so distracted by things, emotions, and circumstance, if that makes sense. I'm distracted at the fact that I don't make enough money to pay my bills. I'm distracted at the fact that I have to ask for help. All of that is causing me to look for another job. I'm distracted at the fact that my marriage had to end. So now that pushes at 33 years of age, that pushes my life back to where I'm wondering when I'll be able to have children. Because I don't want to have children unless I'm married to one man. So how am I going to achieve that? That's a distraction for somebody like me. Little details and little thoughts are very easily distracting for me. So there's that. I'm distracted at the fact that I hate my housing situation, but I have no money to get out of the housing situation. So that's another distraction to look for another job. I have no time and no thought to look at the fact that I'm still alive. I have people in my corner. I have a village. I have resources. I have help. But when you're the type of person that's used to doing everything for yourself, you get distracted from asking for help because you feel like your independence falters or it wavers. I'm that person. Noticing that you're distracted is not an easy feat. It's not, especially if you're not focused on it. Some people are able to multitask, some people are narrow minded. Some people are actually both. I know that because I'm one of them. I can multitask mentally and still be focused on one thing. It usually makes my words jumble and I end up stuttering. But I can be multitasking. I can be in the middle of a conversation with somebody about something completely different. Like I'm going out the country in September. I can be having a conversation about that with my cousin, but I'm still thinking about the fact that I'm lonely as crap on today. Multitasking. Don't let the distractions in your life cause you to miss out on what's in front of your face in the moment. You're not living in September. You're not living in 2023. You're not living in 1985, 1990, 1920, 1930, whenever you were born. You're not living in that time period. You're living in February 6th, 2024. Today is Tuesday. Live in that moment because it'll be so easy for you to let it get away from you and you miss it. You don't want to miss what's in front of your face right now, worried about what's coming later or what done already passed. And if you're worried about what done already passed, it definitely ain't nothing you can do about that now. So why are you worried about it? One thing I like about making these videos is I go back and I watch the videos later and I listen to everything I said, just like I do with the church services and my church broadcast. I go back and listen to it later and listen to everything again. Because sometimes you miss something that first go around. And I'm always so amazed at the things that I say because I think the people that I heard to say it first was my pastors of my church. Anytime when you speak, it's for you first. Now they talking about like a public ministerial level. I'm gonna go as far as to say, because a lot of this, it's not. I wouldn't say it's subconscious what I'm saying. It's just I'm not gonna remember what I'm saying later. You can give yourself wisdom and tidbits when trying to help somebody else and you don't even pay attention to it in that moment. But maybe you can go back and listen to it, or maybe the Holy Spirit will bring it to your remembrance and be like, well, dang, that helped me too. So you're always speaking when it's something fruitful or when it's something meaty or substantial, you're speaking for yourself first. So try to keep that in mind. I did a dog wink. Sorry. Distracted. Distracted. Um yeah, it's been a very trying from Saturday to now has been very trying. Distracting, emotional, all of that. I've kept majority of it to myself because, you know, I need to stop saying it. I need to stop saying people don't care. It's not the fact that people don't care. I'm very wary of what I tell people because I have been burned by people. But not only that, everybody got something going on, and I be trying to keep that in mind. And plus, I have the proper resources to talk to people that can positively help me, if that makes sense. So I don't really be liking to tell my business to everybody anyway. But yeah, it's been a very trying time period from the divorce papers being finalized and me realizing how to go about life. You never realize what you did or did not have or what you quote unquote missed out on until it's sitting you in your face. So when them papers got signed, I was like, yeah, well, life kind of feel like, it felt the same. Like life didn't feel like it's it's an eye-opening thing when you're sitting and you're like, I don't feel a difference from being divorced from being married because I was always by myself anyway. And maybe it's different attributes to that. Maybe it's because he was in the service, so I felt like I was always by myself. And maybe it was characteristics that we just failed to act on, failed to fix. I said we, not he. We failed to fix. But after the papers got signed, I realized I got so used to being isolated and I got so used to being by myself. I don't really have friends. in my face. Still have friends at home in Chicago. I have a friend in Florida. And I have church friends. And I have family that I actually talk to. Because a lot of my family done been disowned by now, but that's a different story for another day. Um, but I don't have somebody I can go sit on their couch. And I'm not talking about family, I'm talking about a friend. I don't have somebody I can go sit on their couch and be like, can we just eat and talk about anything in the world? I take that back, I do. But I'm very careful to consider people's situations. You got to love on your friends too. You can't just expect them to love on you. And I do my best to love on my friends and give them their space, especially when I know different details of life. I'll put it like that. Um, yeah, I didn't get used to being alone, so I got to figure out how to people. I don't know how to people. I got to get used to or back used to doing everything and going everywhere by myself. It's bills. Not saying I never paid bills, because I've paid bills and I still pay bills. It's bills I completely forgot about that I gotta remember to get back into the swing of paying. Car insurance. I haven't paid car insurance since I've been married. I've completely forgot about that. So now I gotta get back into the swing of paying car insurance. It's like I was so distracted with an image of what I was trying to be. I forgot about some stuff that maybe I needed to be anyway. So just be careful how you do stuff, how you consider stuff. Consider yourself first always, after God. If you ain't got no kids or nothing, or no husband or wife, make sure you keep yourself as a priority, because it's important. Because once you lose you, you can't help nobody else. I'm a living witness to that. Just be careful. Love on you. I think I'm done. I just felt a sigh of relief, like my mind went blank, but I felt a sigh of relief, like it's out. So I guess that's where we gonna stop. If I get some more tea, I'll bring it back to y'all in another video. Be encouraged. Be strong. Be courageous. Be focused. Keep your eyes where they belong, which is on things above. Because you can't do nothing with what's down here unless you got some focus on things above. I love you. I'm praying for you. Happy Black History Month. My name's Bree. Thanks for coming to chat with me.